Hey everyone, I've got a confession to make. I'm a creep. Have you ever wished you were a creep, but were born too normal to be one? Let me tell you how. Do you stare awkwardly at someone for a long period of time? Do you find yourself asking women awkward questions? Excuse me, are you gonna make me wait the accepted amount of 6 dates before you sleep with me? You won't give up? You find yourself stalking someone? Where'd you go? Hello? It's probably a bad connection. I'll call you back. You have no personal space? You find yourself rambling to someone? Blah, blah, blah. You're really eager! No? Just me? Well, have I got the game for you? Today I'm going to be playing Panty Party. Panty Party. Never heard of it? Well, it's a game where you're a panty and you fight other panties. What, that doesn't make sense? I'm gonna be trying this game so you don't have to. You can thank me later. But you know, after watching this, you're probably gonna want to play it. So this game came out on Steam January 24th for $10. It's a fairly niche game right now with about 200 reviews, but it's pretty fun and most of them actually like the game, so I'm just going through the options menu here. I'm using the Xbox One controller with the adapter I have for the PC. This game actually has a storyline, believe it or not. The panties are fighting each other for a reason. There's an evil panty named Pansy, and that Pansy wants to take over the world. She and her group of panties plan to brainwash all the humans and make them only love panties. Obviously, nobody wants to be forced to love anything, so our main protagonist, Yukira, meets a panty named Bakapan, and Bakapan tells Yukira all the evil plans of the Pansy, and it's up to her and some allies she meets along the way to stop Pansy's evil plan. Kira has the ability to communicate with panties via telepathy, so that's why they seek her out to have her help in their fight against Pansy. Now, Yukira and her allies can turn into panties to fight as well, so that's why you fight as a panty. Are you still following? Because these Japanese developers are crazy! Who would think this up? So just a little bit of background information on how the gameplay works. Each panty has different special moves and different weapons that they can use. And different panties are unlocked if you meet certain criteria on each level. There are 3 buttons that you can press on the gamepad to use the different moves, and then the 4th button is used for jumping. Now here I'm playing as the polka dotted panty going against the striped panty once I finally get to it, but the polka dot panty has basic combat, a basic beam, a hyper beam, and finally all of these panties, while they have different regular moves, their special move is passion, which when you build that up from fighting different panties, you press the analog stick in, and it allows you to make more powerful attacks against the enemies. The game starts out quite basic, where you just run forward and punch and shoot the panties until it dies, but as you progress through the game, it gets a lot more complex, a lot more panties fighting you all at one time, and you have to really learn how to maneuver using the shoulder buttons, shooting left and right, and then diving forward with the other shoulder buttons. And to be honest, it's kind of weird. The more I played this game, the more immune I got to just seeing the panties and just feeling like it's just a regular fighting game. I didn't even see the panties after a while. Say the initial shock value of the panties floating around lasted about a half an hour. As far as the overall gameplay goes for this game though, in short, you're dropped into an arena where your objective is to defeat the boss or eliminate all the panties there. As you beat some level requirements, you unlock the new panties like I said, and basically it's just different abilities. Each panty has 3 attacks, and the 4th, the special attack, can give them a powerful weapon to use. And another special thing about this polka dot panty is it actually has 3 lives, where most of the panties only have 2 lives, but they all vary. And once you run out of lives, you have to start the level over from the beginning. The combat is hysterical for, like I said, about the first half hour of the game, but after that you get a little bit behind the scenes with the actual gameplay, and it's just a lot of battles with bosses that can get pretty cheap when they stun you or make you go slow with their special moves, and if you keep failing over and over on a specific level because of how cheap the end boss is, it can get pretty frustrating. As far as the sound goes in this game, the voice acting is awesome. It's all in Japanese, but they have English subtitles, thankfully, so you can figure out what's going on in the storyline, but you get to listen to the crazy Japanese talking, and I love that. The game wouldn't feel natural if it was in English. I feel like this is one of those weird Japanese games that only makes sense being in Japanese. And this storyline, the visual novel part of the game, they last about 20 to 40 seconds in between each battle, just progressing the storyline forward. And if you're anything like me, the storyline is hilarious if you don't take it too seriously. Because I am the warrior of love. So that's it. I have a whole bunch more footage that I recorded, but that's really the game. There's not too much more than panties floating around, punching and shooting other panties. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's extremely repetitive. I enjoyed my time with it, but I don't see myself playing this game over and over again. I would have liked a little bit more of a multiplayer mode, or different kind of objectives to complete. It was really basic the whole time, and like I said, the only frustrating part for me was the bosses doing the whole really cheap thing of stunning you or shooting you with their slow gel and making you not being able to fight while they just kicked your ass. But other than that, it's okay. It's just pretty repetitive. Did I say that already? That's okay. The game's pretty repetitive, just like me, so. Do I recommend this game? Yes, but I'd wait for a sale. $10 is a lot to spend on this repetitive fighting game, and I feel like you could get a lot more bang for your buck with a lot of the games out there right now. The main game can be completed in about 2 to 3 hours if you don't get caught in one of those cheap boss fights that I seem to end up in every time. If you want to laugh at the ridiculous panties and the storyline and hear the Japanese voice acting the whole way through, it's worth it. I mean, I don't regret dropping $10 on it, but at the same time, there's no need to rush out for it. I think it's worth $5 to $7. $10? Eh. But then again, it's really hard for me to justify spending full price on any game when my backlog is over 5,000 games, so I just thought this would be a fun game to play, and it was. My final score for this game is a 7 out of 10. I wish it had a little bit more variety in it. The graphics are fun, the voice acting's great, the storyline's entertaining, and the comical value is great. But the lack of variety really kills it for me, and I feel like once you play it, you don't really need to ever play it again. It's a fun game to show your friends if you want to be a creep. But if you're like me, then you probably don't have any anyway, so it's okay. Anyways, that's all for today's episode, guys, so thanks so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe.